Hey friends, it's KT. Nerf made the best melee toys back in the day. Foam swords and shields and all kinds of cool things. But it's been almost 10 years since they've made anything like that. And there's a huge gap in the market for nice, soft things to hit your friends with other than just pool noodles from the dollar store. So when I saw these Adventure Force foam swords on the shelf at Walmart, I thought we'd give them a shot. Will they fill the gap? Let's find out. Absolutely not. Okay, seriously though, there's a lot to live up to with Nerf's old melee products. They hit just the right point between rigidity, where they hold their shape, and softness, where you can really hit someone as hard as you want and it won't hurt them, which is really probably the most important measure. You want to be able to really wail on somebody and just have it not feel like anything more than just a thud. It should feel like a pillow fight, really. This Zombie Strike knife is from 2017, so it's not that old. It's about 4 or 5 years old, but it's still holding together just fine. It's got the original string on it, and all it has is a little bit of tape on the handle where it started to rip a little bit. My kids have had free access to this for years, and it's still going strong. Nerf has also made attachments for blasters like the chop stock, and blasters that have built-in melee on them, like these saw blades in the Zombie Strike series. They've also made bayonets. A lot of these aren't quite as soft as the handheld melee toys. They still have very good soft foam tips. This one probably has about 1 inch of thick foam on it. This thing is like the coolest thing. They look awesome, and they're certainly safe to tap somebody with to get a melee strike when you sneak up behind somebody, but they're not for wailing away in like a pillow fight style play session. Now, most of you are probably already familiar with Walmart's Adventure Force brand, which is really an umbrella brand for a number of different things made by different companies. In the foam flinging arena, we are familiar with their stuff made by Dart Zone, Buzzbee, and X-Shot. With a little Googling, I was able to determine that these foam swords are made by Buzzbee, and they're both 26 inches long, exactly, which is a little shorter than my arm. So if I'm an adult and I'm going up against a zombie wielding a pool noodle, I'm going to get hit before I can hit anybody with this. Each sword has a red receptacle at the end that can interlock and click into place to make sort of a Darth Maul style double-wielded sword. This ties in really well with its other feature. When struck, it lights up for just 2 seconds, which makes for a pretty cool dynamic visual effect when they're being played with. The lighting effect looks okay in low light, and it's even visible in daylight, although it tends to look like a strong glow at the base of the sword and a red dot at the tip. When we looked around the store to try to pick some up, most of the ones in the store were already broken to varying degrees. They had rips in them, the tips were missing off of a number of them. Some of them even had the handles broken off. Despite all of that, my kids have had free reign over these for a few weeks now, and they're still in decent condition. We've got these 3 that have survived fully intact so far. We also have this blue one, and the blue one has lost its tip. And with this missing tip, we can start to see what's actually going on inside these. This is where we can really start to see the difference between Buzzbee's melee and Nerf's melee. Inside this is a refractive clear plastic tube that goes from the LED all the way near the tip. But with the katana, you've got less than 1 inch of foam on one side and a tiny amount of foam on the back side relative to where the tip of the sword is. If you get hit with this side, it's a significantly different feeling than getting hit with the blade side. And most kids are not going to be savvy enough to keep on the blade side of the sword. It's less of an issue with this one, where there's a consistent amount of foam on the sides, but if you get hit with the broad side of it, you're pretty much getting hit with plastic right away. Also, if the ones that we saw at the store are any indication, this foam is going to come off, and then you're going to have a plastic stick. And anyone that's been hit with those light-up lightsabers that were extremely popular for quite a while, you know that that's not fun. They're not really designed for hitting people with. I'm also super unimpressed with the fact that you can't change the batteries on this. They could have easily had 2 plastic pieces that unscrew to get the batteries out. When these cell batteries eventually die, and I think there's probably 2 or 3 of them in there, you're just going to have a foam stick and eventually a plastic stick when the foam comes off. So, clearly a very short-term toy, as opposed to these Nerf Melee toys, some of which are still hanging out 10 years later. So in the end, for me, at $5 per sword, for something that's essentially a glorified party favor, these are borderline at best. I'd rather just go buy a dollar pool noodle and get some PVC and work to make something myself by hand that looks like exactly what I want and fits my safety expectations. Either for me to take to an HEVZ or for my kids. So as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I already own them, but if I was considering Melee foam again, these would be a hard pass. If you've still got any old Nerf Melee stuff, take good care of it, because I don't think we're going to see anything like this anytime soon. So what do you think? Are you going to add these to your loadout, or are you going to stick with pool noodles? Let me know down in the comments, and if you like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I also have a new video out on my music channel, and I'm going to be doing more content over there. So if you're curious what I've been doing other than foam flinging, go check that out. There'll be a link in the description and at the end of the video. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you around. I hope to see you on the field. Will they fill the gap left by Nerf in the market? Let's find out. Extremely rude, sir. Nope. Not at all. Absolutely not.